All right, so when you're doing your research, one of the best tools that you could use is the Explore feature at the bottom right-hand side of your screen, right down here at the bottom. Click on Explore, and it's going to open up this window on the right-hand side of my screen. And it's looking at some things that were in my document already. It talked about organ system, excretory system, homeostasis. I can click on More and look for where it says circulatory system. Or I could just type in circulatory system into this search bar right here on the top. Now it gives me some different web results that I could use. Maybe I want to look at this heart and circulatory system for teens. And if I click on this link, it will actually open up in a new tab, and I can find out some information about what the circulatory system does, etc. And let's say that I want to know let's see, arteries carry blood away from the heart, veins carry blood back to the heart. So I might go back to my document, and that's here. So like organs and parts, I know that in this box I'm going to type in arteries, down here veins, and I'll say carry blood away from the heart, carry blood to the heart. Okay, so that's some information that I used, but I want to cite my source. So when I'm citing my source with this information, I can click right here, have my cursor right after where my text is that I just typed. I kind of put it in my own words. I just didn't copy and paste everything. But now what I can do, notice that if I click right here, I can cite it as a footnote. But we want to make sure that it's an APA format first. So I'm going to go back up to here where it says Web Results, and there's these 3 different dots. This is where I can select my citation format. The default is MLA, but on Science we use APA, so I'm going to change it to APA. Now I'm going to go back to my source right here, and I'm going to click on the little parentheses or quotes to cite it as a footnote, and I put the number 1 right there. If I go down to the bottom of my page, I can see my footnote. My next one, carry blood to the heart, was from the same source. So I can do the same thing, and it will actually cite it as a second one. It's the same thing. All right, so now let's say that you found a resource that you did not find in the Explore tool and you need a way to cite it. There are 2 different ways. One is the APA tool. If you click on this link, it will give you a box or a web page where you type in all the information that you have about the resource, the author, the date you retrieved it, the website. It works for pictures, images, web pages, any sort of resource that you can find. So that's one option. A second option would be to still use the Explore tool, but in a little bit different way. So let's say that you were using one of the resources that were provided to you, and you were looking at the circulatory system page, and you found some information here that you want to use. What you can do is copy the URL from the Omnibox, so up here. So I copied this URL. I'm going to go back to my document. I'm going to open up the Explore tool again. This time, in the search menu, I'm going to paste my website and press enter, and I can see it's right here. To double check that this is the correct web page, I'm going to open it just to confirm that it really is pointing to the correct spot, which in this case it did. So now what I can do, let's say I wanted to cite veins at this point, just because I haven't typed in any research yet that I got from the site, but let's pretend it's right there. So then I'll have my cursor where I want it, and then I'm going to click on the quotations to cite it as a footnote. Notice that this one here used to be number 2, now it's number 3. This one's now number 2. It puts it in order depending on where it is. So since veins came first, that now became number 2. So if I look down at the bottom of my page, I can see my other resources here at the bottom. So those are 2 different ways that you can cite your sources that you get from other sites, from other searches.